This meeting is called to order. This is the Vergne Board of Zoning Appeals, November 25th, 2014, a regular meeting scheduled 5:30 p.m. The first item of business we have is called to order and make sure we have a quorum, which we do. All members are present. Have all members have a chance to read the minutes from October 28th.
Yeah.
I'll entertain a motion to approve or disapprove minutes.
Motion.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
So moved. Tonight we have no old business, but we do have two items of new business. The first item is a variance from maximum driveway width requirement requested by Eric Gardner of Cannon and Cannon. The property is located along New Paul Road. It's a heavy industrial zoning district, parcel owned by Manning Family Partners, LP. May we have your report, please?
Certainly, Mr. Chairman. Let me give you just a little bit of background on the project here. Blue Beacon has proposed a triple bay truck wash with a CAT scale and an associated office facility along New Paul Road here. It is tax map 17, parcel 34. There currently is no address for it. And it's located along New Paul Road as you wind south towards the park and ride. Per the site plan, which is in your packet, they have 3 entrances along New Paul Road. The northernmost is slated to be 75 feet wide. That is the main entrance for the truck traffic. And the middle entrance is for the employees to utilize the office facility, which is parallel to New Paul. And the southern entrance is the primary entrance for the CAT scale. We are here tonight for a request for a driveway with requirement variance just for the northernmost entrance, the main one. As I mentioned, it is slated to be 75 feet. It's 65 feet at the throat, but 75 feet at the property line. And per our requirements, you can only have, in the industrial area, you can have up to 40 feet wide for an entrance point. They have requested the larger entrance for a variety of reasons. This is the auto turn exhibit, which shows the movements of the largest trucks out there on the roads and how they would be able to utilize this facility. And I guess more specifically, they had to make this main entrance of adequate width to accommodate the turning radius for the largest trucks, as I mentioned, and to accommodate vehicles turning into the site from I call it eastbound and westbound New Paul Road, because you can access the entrance coming from either direction. So it's a 4-lane entrance point with two truck lanes coming in and 2 lanes going out, and it will allow simultaneous turning movements as well as prevent the larger trucks from having to swing into the other lane. And essentially, they've asked for this just for safety purposes, and the other provisions pertaining to access, they have respected those. There's at least 25 feet between the drives, and they have the required distance from the property line for the driveway as well. So,
Thank you. Do we have a representative here this evening representing this petition? Yes, please. Will you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. Would you state your name and address, please, for the record?
My name's Dana Morse, 500 Graves Boulevard, Salina, Kansas, 67401. And I represent Blue Beacon. M-O-R-S-E, like Morse code. Well, the staff pointed out, our proposal is to build at maximum build out, a 3-bay truck wash with scale. And I say maximum. Phase 1 of this project will be a 2-bay truck wash and office and equipment room. That, even at a 2-bay, it does not change the demand for getting trucks in and out there, as she pointed out, simultaneously. So our experience with truckers, over 40 years of truckers, working with truckers, getting them in and out, if you don't give them adequate access, they're going to take it anyway, and they're going to bust out our curbs and just come on in. We try our best with boulders to keep them up on the road, but it doesn't always keep them where they ought to be. And so we've just found it best to design what it takes and see if the cities will tolerate that and allow us to have that to get trucks in and out without them running up on the curbs and doing what they're going to do. The entrance down there, that's the Cat Scale entrance, is just an entrance. When the Cat Scale is built, they'll pull in that entrance, pull up on the scale, weigh, and then they'll exit out on what I'd call the west end. And then, of course, the employee parking is just in and out for employees only. Now, please understand, in our scheme of washing trucks don't sit on the lot except to queue up to get a wash. We don't have truck parking. We don't have any other services there but truck washing. The only thing they're going to find in the office is 3 vending machines and maybe some coffee, but that's it. So it's not a multi-use situation where you have trucks parking and waiting, and our goal is to get them on the lot, get them washed, and back out on the road somewhere.
There isn't much traffic on that road right now, but there could be in the future if there are more facilities built there, and also with the amount of truck traffic that's going to be there. So what you're saying then is a driveway, the larger driveway is going to be large enough to accommodate the largest trucks, 62 feet or whatever, 52 feet, whatever they are, without blocking the other traffic that's on the road that will not be turning in?
We use AutoCAD as our AutoTurn, I'm sorry, is our design. And according to the computer on AutoTurn, they can make that turn in there with no stopping and while one's waiting to exit.
Okay.
And we're anticipating it, and we may be wrong about this. Again, you never know what a trucker is going to do. But we're anticipating most of them are going to, when they turn into the center point area, they're going to go straight and come up and do those right-hand turns to come in, as opposed to come all the way up New Paul and do a left in.
Right.
Which certainly would be our preference too, and if we have any druthers about signing, that's what we're going to tell them to do.
Okay. Will you have the trucks coming in there that have double trailers?
Yeah, I don't, Robert Cruz,
And will that turn be able to accommodate those?
okay.
Any other board members have any questions?
I just think it's with the way it's set up and the way it's organised, that it's valid for what they're looking for. It makes sense for them as well as for the city and its citizens. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to accept the variance as submitted.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept this petition as presented. We'll have a voice vote. All those that agree with approving this petition, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, none. Petition 1, new business 1 passes. Moving right along, we have new business number 2 now, which deals with the same company. This is a variance from site signage requirements. This also is requested by Eric Gardner, Cannon, property located, the same property that we've been talking with, New Paul Road, and heavy industrial. May we have your report, please?
Certainly, Mr. Chairman. In your packet, you have 3 sheets that detail the request for allowance, I guess relief from the allowable signage requirements. The first sheet is the site signage overall layout sheet, which I have on the board. And you can see they have a variety of advertising signs specific to the business, as well as a great deal of informational and directional signs slated to be internal to the site. The next sheet provides a detail of mostly the advertising signs. I call that sheet 5. And then the next sheet is sheet 6, which I believe to be them to be all considered informational or directional signs. I'm just going to go through the sign package.
Okay.
And describe the signage and whether they need a variant, some allowance or not.
All right.
So the sign package for the proposed Blue Beacon project breaks down as follows. The first is the informational and directional signs as shown on sheet 6. We've got cautioning about height clearances, size restrictions, indicating one-way, stop signs, etc. Mandatory handicap parking signs, and then the directional signs indicating exit areas and similar. They're in the industrial areas. Directional signs are capped at 8 square feet. Some of these are proposed to be at 12. And there are a few more proposed than is allowed per the requirements. However, they're basically for the safety and efficiency of the patrons, and they don't have anything to do with advertising. The next group there are 2 internal overhead signs attached to standard safety-related traffic control devices. One, and that's this top right here. That indicates the entrance to the cat scale and directing trucks to stay within specific boundaries as they drive over the scale. I'm sorry, that's actually this one here. And then this one, which is the entrance to the truck wash, it indicates which lane you're supposed to be in if you're going to either the reefer dry box or the actual wash lanes. I consider those to be part of the informational and directional signage. The next sign is a directional pole sign at the southernmost access point on New Pole Road, which at the very top here, it's proposed to be 12 feet high. It's simply to indicate that is the entrance to the cat scale. It's, again, supposed to be 12 feet in height with 32 feet of copy, and I personally consider that to be a directional sign as well. If we go to the advertising signs, the first one, the Interstate On sign here, that is the main advertising sign. It's proposed to be at the main entrance, and it is slated to be 60 feet in height, which meets the requirements. It's slated also to be 425 square feet of copy area, which is 125 feet more than is allowed. Blue Beacon has indicated that they need that large copy area because they have more than one business located or being advertised on the site, both Cat and Blue Beacon. They have asked for the 50% increase, which is allowed by the zoning ordinance in section 8.080, part D, item 1C. The next sign is the standard pole sign right here. That's going to be at the main entrance to the site. That's slated to be 20 feet in height with 96 feet of copy area. That meets the requirement for a regular pole sign. Then, if we go back to the first sheet, I don't have a detail of this here, but the lettering truck wash is only going to be on the, it's a wall sign. It's going to be on the front facade facing the interstate, and that meets the requirement for wall sign. And then the last one is the logo for Blue Beacon right here. They are proposing 3 of those on the tower, and those are slated to be 40 square feet. And as I mentioned down here, a variance will allow for an extra wall sign per building per the municipal zoning ordinance for a total of 4 wall signs, which is what they have proposed. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. And this is similar to the other requests we've had from Clean Energy, Speedway, Walmart, any of the national scale retailers that have corporate signage. It is always more than what is allowed by our zoning ordinance.
On page 6 there, those signs primarily are safety.
Yes.
And handicap parking
Yes.
and directional. Okay.
Correct.
I would imagine that part of the reason for the oversized signs is because they're not as close as to the interstate as they could be probably. And being across that road is farther away from the interstate makes it easier to see.
They do in the justification letter, they do describe the fact that they have a site that is sort of non-traditional for them. They do like the fact that they have interstate frontage and visibility, but they're not located at a truck stop like they normally are. And the pilot, of course, is across the interstate, so.
I found that interesting, that it's not a regular truck stop. Okay. Sir, would you mind? You've already been sworn in. There's no need to do that again.
Okay. You know my name and address, so we're good to go. If we could maybe just start out on this one, and I think this is probably our biggest request application, is that high-rise sign, as we call it, which has the blue beacon traditional truck wash cabinet and the logo, and then below it the Cat Scale sign. Cat Scale is, they actually lease from us and operate their business. We just do the cash deposits for them. And so rather than to have them as a separate business, we want to put them on our sign. And that's why we're considerably over. I think their cabinet is 100 square feet, and I think we're 125 over.
You are correct.
Right at that. So when we combine those two, that puts us over considerably. Could you go back to the trust sign? I need to take a look at that.
Is
Make
it?
sure, I think it was on 6.
Oh, excuse me.
No, that's right. We were kind of whispering over there because we wanted to make sure that we hadn't forgotten that at some point in the process, we changed and made the Cat Scale separate, the entrance separate.
Right.
Because normally a trust sign of ours would have 3 signs on it, and I wanted to make sure we hadn't forgotten that, but we do have that. But
Right.
again, most of those are directional signs that we feel important to keep trucks flowing, and you know, on that cabinet down there in the lower right that has the Cat Scale on it, what we're wanting to tell them is, don't turn in here, this is the truck wash entrance. We don't want you pulling in here and getting in line and then doing whatever you're going to do to get back out of line. So we want them to make sure they go down one more exit and turn in there. That's our request.
Do any board members have any questions?
I just want to qualify on the 3 sides of the tower. So you're doing one that's directly facing the interstate and the one come from one direction and one from the other. So it's not on the back side, only the 3 sides that face the interstate. Okay.
Are there any other questions?
How much light do these put out? Because there's a apartment right down the road from where y'all at now. That be shining that away on those apartments?
Are you internally lit? Is that
They're
your requirement?
internally lit
Yeah.
cabinets, yes.
I think
So
that's your
they shouldn't-
requirement. Yeah.
Okay.
They shouldn't put off much.
Yeah.
Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to accept the variance as submitted, and we're using the site plan package dated 10/27/14. I just want to make sure we're using this. This is what we're seeing, don't want it being changed. So I'd like to include that within the motion.
Motion's been made. Do I hear a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve this petition. We'll take a voice vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? None. It passes. Thank you. Again, those are the 2 items of new business. We had no old business, and therefore we shall now stand adjourned.